morning, Lompoc.
Good morning, Lompoc. If you're curious what that was one of my favorite bands that doesn't play together anymore, but they're still family. That was St. Anne's Place all the way back in, I think, 2012 or 2013. And the reason we played that today is because later in the show, we're going to have Jacob Cole premiere some fresh new music on our show. We're really excited about that. Good morning, Lompoc.
Good morning, Lompoc. Making sure, can you guys all hear us?
Make sure you can hear us.
We were kind of running against the clock here today, so I did
thumbs up if you can hear us.
Check a chance to test all the sounds. So thumbs up
if
you can hear us.
Waiting. Testing.
Can they?
I'm waiting.
Yep.
There's a thumbs up. Okay.
Perfect. So we'll move on here.
Thank you, guys.
So we'll have a live update this morning from the mayor, Jenelle Osborne. So she'll be on in just a few minutes. But we wanted to catch up on some of the news from over the weekend. First of all, big thank you to Tom's and King's Kerry.
Yes.
We had a great little turnout for our happy hour on
Thank you guys
Friday.
for participating.
Lots of people posting pics of that, which was really awesome.
Tom's was really busy.
They
sold some
were.
wine. We had a great conversation.
Yep, that was a lot of fun. So we're excited to do that. Hope to do that more often. So thank you all for joining us. And then also on Friday, Bob Campbell of Campbell Ranches, he donated roughly 1,500 pounds of produce on Friday to the staff at Lompoc
Go Bob
Valley.
Campbell, former Man of the Year here in Lompoc.
Yep.
Campbell Farms.
A lot of their produce usually is sold commercially, and so he said a lot of it would just go to waste. So they, Nora Wallace, who's there on the right, she was out there purchasing strawberries, and he said he wanted to donate those instead. So they have about over 700 employees at the Lompoc Valley Medical Center, so they were very excited. It was all first come, first served basis, so that was pretty awesome. Also in Solvang, there was a sighting. Everybody had to have a shelter-in-place order last night at 10 p.m.
Because there was
this bear was spotted walking down. That is Alisal.
Yeah,
My mom lives on Alisal,
this is where you could shop for trinkets and lots of things. Anyway, the Fish and Wildlife had to come out, and this is the bear, about 350 to 400 pounds, they estimated. It got a little bit tired, and so it decided to snooze behind one of the businesses in Solvang. They had to use a small crane because the unconscious bear was so heavy to get it into the back of a truck, and a couple hours later, they had tagged the bear, made sure it was okay, and they released it out into the wild. So kind of crazy.
I thought that was so crazy.
It wasn't a little bear. That was a pretty big-sized bear.
That was a big bear.
Yeah, just trying to do some tourism.
Yeah.
Interested in the Danish lifestyle.
My mom used to work over there at the mole hole where it was hiding out, so I'm not sure if she left some treats for him
Just imagining somebody that's a night owl walking their dog at
oh my God.
1 or 2 in the morning and turning the corner.
What is that?
Hello, bear.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's
that
pretty
was
exciting.
Crazy.
What else do we have?
Also, this was in Newport Beach. There were these dolphins. Well, so there was a red tide occurring, which there's these little dinoflagellates that produce this bioluminescence. So they captured, this is Patrick down there who was on a boat. He captured this awesome footage of these dolphins swimming through this red tide.
Super cool. Oh, you just got to let it play. It just gets better and better.
So I should say, he said, last night was truly one of the most magical nights of my life. And I guess conditions have to be absolutely perfect for the bioluminescence to show up and have an animal swim through it so you can film it. So this is not just anybody can pull out their iPhone and get on a boat.
Doesn't happen.
Film this. So we just thought that was just stunning.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
So anyways, let's get back to here. All right. I think we're getting close to our update with Jenelle.
Yes.
Do we want to go to weather first?
I think that might be good because this week is going to throw us a couple small curveballs, but our weatherman has it covered.
Yep.
Today.
He did a better job this time. I think he's a little bit more accurate.
I think
so
he nailed
apologizes for last week's maybe a little bit
He
inaccurate
just rushed it a little
weather.
Bit,
so
he's
now
working on it.
He
is 4 years old.
Yes. So we have to be patient.
Thank you, Brittany.
Good morning, Lompoc. Best weather guide in your winter. Here you meet me report. Monday is the windiest day of all days. Tuesday is the hottest day of all days. And then we're smooth sailing. Goodbye.
Those curls.
I think if I let my hair grow out for a couple years,
yeah,
I've already started. So maybe I can.
Don't threaten me with that again. When your hair was long, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
Get some of those Miranda curls.
Oh God, those Miranda curls. Those are the best. Anyways,
so we're gonna go live now and talk with Jenelle Osborne, the lovely mayor of Lompoc, and she's gonna update us on just all things community and let us know what we need to be looking forward to and what we should know. So let's see if we can get her connected. Hang tight.
Just one second. All right, Jenelle, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can. Yes, you're all set.
Great.
So maybe you can just give us an update. We've been hearing a lot of rumors that we might be reopening soon. Is there any word on what's happening here in town?
So yeah, the request to reopen is very strong, and I absolutely understand all of the businesses that have been impacted by the stay-at-home order that the governor and the president have issued. So there is a local group that is looking at how it impacts Lompoc, but more importantly, we are dependent upon the public health department, the county public health department, for making the rules and allowing the reopening. They did do an update on Friday at 5 p.m. with some changes as to what was considered an essential business and how you could reopen and be allowed. So I'll make sure that's posted to the city Facebook page today so that businesses can review that. And really what it was about is allowing some of the faith-based organizations to reopen as long as they conducted services outdoors or via the cars and in parking lots and practicing social distancing. Some of the outdoor activities that were returned were things like golf courses being reopened with very limited use of the facilities. So you want to make sure that you're not using the carts and not touching things. So they've raised the cup out of the hole a little bit so you don't have to reach in. You're just hitting your ball to the cup and that sort of thing. And then the last part of it is, what can those businesses do if they reopen? And it's a very distinct list that you have to follow. So going through that health order and looking at attachment B for those that can open with social distancing, and then attachment C, what has to stay closed and still remotely. And then attachment E really is the one that those can stay open, really need to look at. It's got a checklist.
Okay.
So.
And you were mentioning earlier, just helping people understand when people do get frustrated about why doesn't Lompoc do X. Can you remind us about the hierarchy of who gets to give permissions on some of these things from the state down?
So the governor is the state of emergency for the entire state and issued our emergency order. And that resulted in all of the county public health departments being under the state public health division. And because of it being a health-related state of emergency, the health departments are the ones that are setting the protocol in partnership with the state. So the governor has said that it will be local authorities that can reopen. Unfortunately, the clarity there wasn't great, and we have gotten that clarity that what he meant was the local authorities are the county public health departments. So that may be why you see San Luis Obispo doing something slightly different or sooner than Santa Barbara County versus maybe what Ventura County's doing, and where those businesses are allowed or aren't allowed to open. Each county public health is assessing how the COVID-19 is spreading within its own community, how that community is able to get on top of the rules of social distancing, and then making a decision on how quickly they're able to care for those. So we've gotten a better handle on the hospitals and how we can respond, and that's why the county is beginning to look at the protocol.
Okay.
The county is organizing a group that will be meeting later this week that will discuss some of the concerns, what those parameters might look like, and get feedback from the business community across the county.
Okay. Great. So I know that we were looking at numbers from Lompoc, I think on Friday, and it looked like we were starting to plateau a little bit. Do you want to give us an update on how the hospital is doing and how we're doing here in Lompoc?
Sure. So as of yesterday, we were at 79 cases within the Lompoc Valley area, and there were 103 at the prison. The only caveat I'll say with the prison is we're not getting real clear data from the prison quick enough. So there is some concern that that number may be higher, and we just haven't heard.
Okay.
I'm hoping they'll get better, but they've actually gotten quieter. So that is a concern. The hospital, the local hospital, is managing quite well. They are working in conjunction with county public health. They have enough equipment and PPE. The unfortunate side of it is some of the equipment that can run the tests needs software updates and needs additional materials, and those are just backlogged. So until those are delivered, even though we're ready to do the testing, it's hard to do it if you don't have the equipment and the software. So
Right.
the company is to get that to us by May, but we don't know when in May. And the good news is that out of the 471 infected across the county, 320 have recovered.
Yeah.
So it is really the most dangerous for those that have other complications. So we're asking that, well, it's not a mandate that everyone start practicing wearing face masks or face coverings when they go out, simply because you may be asymptomatic and a carrier and not know it.
Okay. So that was one of my questions last night when I was looking at the total number. So that total number, it doesn't mean that people are still infected. Of that total number, there's only like 150 or so that are still infected of that total.
Correct.
Okay.
And right now there were only, let me look really quickly so I don't get it wrong. There, I believe, were 37 that were hospitalized, and
Okay.
only about, let's see. Of those, I think there were only 13 in hospital. That may be Friday's number. It may have come down a bit.
Okay. Great.
So yeah, when you're looking at the numbers on the county public health website, that dashboard's really, really helpful. But when you look at that total number and that breakdown, there's a column off to the right. Scroll down a bit, and there you'll see recoveries, and they have it broken down as to who's recovering at home, so they're still infected, who's fully recovered, which is the 320, how many are in hospital, and then how many are of the ones in hospital, how many are ICU. And ICU are the ones that we're the most concerned about, because they've been required to be put on ventilators and have the most complications.
Got it. Okay. Great.
Jenelle, how is Lompoc doing in general, as a city, as a community, coming together during this time? From your perspective, it's been several weeks now of us adapting and getting used to this. How is Lompoc doing?
You know, I think for the type of community we are, we're doing really well. I have spoken with friends that live in Santa Barbara, Solvang, and other parts of San Luis Obispo and Ventura County, and they talk about the ghost town effect and how nobody's out, nobody's around, and how quiet it is. And yet you look at our community, and we're a working class community. And so a lot of our residents work for the city, which is full service. They work for the county, whether it's a first responder or one of the county offices. And we also have a lot of individuals that are in the ag farm industry, the blue collar work of going and doing your plumbing and your HVAC and construction. So we don't look as ghost town as the rest of the county might look, because of those of us that go out and work every day, still doing the essential business that's required. Yeah. But we are being very supportive. I know a lot of the restaurants have figured out new ways to provide, and people are patronizing them. A real shout out to a lot of them who have to delivery and online when they never had it before. There are individuals that, while sheltered at home like yourselves, that are being really creative and really supportive to those that are either ill or those of us that are losing our jobs and aren't able to go into work. So again, I think Lompoc's really unique. It's a really strong community. It's a really diverse community, and we will get through this and come out the other side stronger for it.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for the update. I think that's all we have. Is there anything else you want to add or bring us up to speed on?
No, just to, be safe, be calm, be kind, wear a face covering if you go out, and protect your neighbors and your friends and the essential businesses that are open. And you guys are doing a great job, and thanks for keeping a smile on everybody's face during this time.
Oh, our pleasure. We're having a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Jenelle.
We'd love to check in with you in another week or two, so stay tuned and we'll get an update.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
There they are. Okay, so where were we?
Yeah, so hopefully that was helpful for you guys. A little update from the mayor there. And I apologize for kicking you all off. So rude. So anyways, let's get back to some of our local stuff.
Yes.
So we had some submissions from locals. They're getting really creative at home with their kids. And I think we had a really awesome video from Kim White. She's a wino.
Hey, now.
And I think she's putting her kids' palate to the test here. And
before, you should mention that actually in famous wine regions, and whether it's in the New World or the Old World, this kind of tasting, it may not be the same ingredients, but it's common to have to do blind tasting and get used to different ingredients. And so this is kind of fun. Yeah.
So anyways, she did a little Jeopardy blind tasting challenge with her kids. So here we go.
Don't hit the wrong button.
Okay, open your mouth.
Cashew. Wait, so it's only
Open your mouth.
It's only food.
Orange. Orange?
Hannah?
Must have orange.
Okay, next one.
Really juicy.
Next one.
I don't napkin.
Open.
Lemon! Lime. Lemon.
Okay.
All right.
At least that
Next
was,
Next one.
that was lime. Whoa, what's this? What? I don't know what it is.
You still taste this.
Gummy.
Hey, close your mouth, dude.
Cheese.
There you go. Cheese.
Cheese.
Open.
M&M. Oh, M&M.
Okay, take your mask off now. That's it.
Yeah, no.
Did I get any correct? Okay, please show me this stuff.
I just thought that was a fantastic use of face masks, too.
I think the adults had a little more fun than the kids.
Oh my gosh.
But that's okay.
I love her little one. Please show me the stuff. I want to see. She wants the evidence.
Did I get any right?
To see if she was right. And they got pretty close. The cutie, I mean, you know what cuties are. They're kind of like an orange. They're like a
I
little
thought they were all
tangerine.
cuties.
Well, when they said orange, and then the one said,
okay.
I think she said messed up orange, or she might have said mushed up orange. But I went with messed up orange because I thought it was funnier. So
awesome. Well, that was great. Thank you to Kim.
Try with your kids at home and test their palates. And
another one, if people don't know, they just think they can always taste something. If you plug your nose.
Yep.
And try to taste something.
Yeah.
Let us know how that works
I'm sure
out.
you've heard this before, but if you take a raw potato that's peeled and a raw apple that's peeled and you plug your nose, most people can't taste the difference between those two.
Don't believe us?
So try it with your kids.
Buy a potato.
Yeah.
And an apple.
Yes. Speaking of kids, we have an update from...
there you go, Michael Lynn.
Yep, from Michael Lynn's kids.
So we interviewed Michael Lynn about a week ago, roughly.
Yep, about a week ago.
And her husband is fortunately hopefully recovering very well from the COVID-19 crisis. So at home, they've been creative with the kids in quarantine.
Yep.
And when it comes to chores, they've been creative there too.
Yep. So they wanted to share some thoughts on the division of domestic labor at home that might be helpful for all of you.
Hi, I'm Axa, and I would like to talk about some of my most favorite chores and some of my least favorite chores. Some of my most favorite chores are doing the clean dishes, because they're clean and not yucky like the ones that Lincoln has to do.
This is our chore chart, and we sometimes trade them.
Also, I like weed whacking because it's super fun.
Favorite chore is doing the utensils.
I also like weed whacking because it's super fun.
My least favorite chore is putting the
away the laundry and doing the watering. The first one is doing the cat box because it's hard to do and it's disgusting. My second is doing the compost because it's super nasty. Yeah.
Moms need breaks now.
So thank you for our sponsors, moms. Everywhere.
Hey, moms. Let us know if you've come up with some creative ideas on getting the chores done around the house.
Yep.
I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I love
thought
how they
so.
split it up, and they could barter with each other.
Chores chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cutest.
You and I don't even have a
little
chores
Emerson. He was so cute. He wanted to tell you about some of his favorite chores too.
That was pretty cool.
So thank you so much, Michael Lynn, for sending that to us.
Absolutely. Let's dig into one of our the interview today, and then we're going to get to Jacob Cole. Fresh new music premiered here on Good Morning Lompoc. We're so excited. But I got a chance to sit down with one of my closest friends, Darren Savella, who owns CrossFit Ohana, which we talk about all the time. He's a great friend, a fellow golfer, person we love to just hang out with and shoot the breeze. Yep. But I got a chance to sit down with him. Their business has been closed down as a result of the COVID crisis.
And they had to completely change up their business model, obviously.
Basically overnight. They got the update from the county, and then the next day they were closed.
Yep.
So,
well, first they switched from having classes from like 15 maximum to 9. And then it was just a quick switch to online and having to create videos at home and figuring out Zoom and how to make it interactive and how to keep members, because ultimately that's his lifeline and livelihood. So
we've been he's been doing some really great virtual classes that have kept us in decent shape.
Especially
I haven't been eating as much, so that's also contributed
to my...
You've
been eating a lot.
Well, maybe
you eat
some.
me out of
But anyway, thank you, Darren, for taking the time to sit down and talk to me and share some of your feelings about what's going on.
Yes. So thank you so much, Darren. Here we go.
Maybe you can elaborate on how physical activity can affect us mentally.
So I look at the body, especially like your organs, right? Like the things that are inside of you that are involuntary workers. So they work no matter if you tell them to or not, right? So like our heart, lungs, kidneys, liver. I look at our brain as the same thing, where it's like it has to be exercised. You have to challenge it so that it grows. I mean, that's growth 101, is that if you want some adaptation, you got to force the adaptation. We're working through and finding ways to go around or get through these obstacles. And yeah, it's going to take a little bit of work, but I'm used to that.
As adults, we're used to schedules and routines and predictability, and we really depend on all that.
No, I think you're right on.
And now all that's out the window.
Yeah. Hope that there's going to be some change, whether that's like, hey, we're going to be able to get back together again soon or things like that. But it's just like, no, it's pretty much like it was yesterday. And still, we didn't know anything yesterday and we still don't know anything now. And I'm like, all right, cool. Great.
Let's talk about Taylor. How's she doing? Obviously not going to school. Things are different.
Taylor is a person that she loves school. She loves excelling. She likes learning, like all of these things. Something about her learning and having that kind of structure really helps her out. And then now we're at home and there's no structure.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of doing like a play-by-play of like what school would be, right? It's like, all right, this is what we're going to do next. And this is what we're going to do next, which is kudos to the teachers out there, because they're just herding these cats, man, like everywhere. And it's like, oh my gosh, get it together. And then when you're at home, you're like, hey, like we still have to do our stuff that we are normally doing. And now you get plugged in these other human bodies, in there to be like, just a little bit of like, oh, wait, you're disrupting the flow. And oh, you're disrupting the flow. And not realizing like that's their own flow too. And like, now you're trying to converge all of these things together. And it's like, oh, it gets a little bit messy sometimes.
It's true.
But to look at her as like, no, she's still going through stuff, and in her world, it's not the same as our world in terms of what we have to do daily, but it's still kind of messed up. And to have her try to process those things. And I know Caitlin does a good job of like talking to her, just making sure that she's not scared by any means, or just to keep an open dialogue about like what is going on. But she's such a funny kid, man, because like she loves being at home.
Yeah.
She is super creative. She loves doing all of her things that she likes doing throughout her day and keeps herself entertained. Yeah. So she just started picking up like roller skating, just, because it's like, yeah, we'll go do that.
So, what is it about Lompoc that sustains you as a person? What is it that makes this place home for you?
Being from a small town and living in big cities, I just felt like I didn't have a lot of connection with people, because you have a lot of acquaintances in big cities and a lot of like passerbyers and, hey, how you doing, that kind of stuff. There wasn't a lot of like intimacy and connection with people, and I just felt like I kind of like that. I need that aspect in my life. For me, it was the quality of like the relationships that I could build, where it's like, man, there's so many good people in Lompoc, like just on a soul level, to where I wanted to be able to meet them. So then I was like, well, what if you created a hub that people could come to and enjoy and enjoy being around each other, and that could just like fan out. And it's like, so I've met numerous people that don't necessarily go to our business or use our facility, but I've met these people through the people that come. So now like that branches out, and then I get to see all these other people and what they're into and what they do, how they help our community, like all these things. And those are then the people that I want to talk to about, like, well, how do we create a better future? How do we create a better version of Lompoc going forward? Not to mention that we're in the middle of like, I mean, we're dead smack in the middle of Santa Barbara or San Luis Obispo, which are two phenomenal places in themselves. And it's like, yeah, but I don't necessarily want to live in a place where everybody is at, but I do want to be able to go there anytime that I want to. And it's like, it's too easy. It's too easy to go any direction and be like, this is awesome and this is awesome, but I could still go back home, which I felt like Lompoc was the place.
Thank you, Darren.
I think that's the place.
I'm not sure who taught who to use the word awesome, but I'm learning that both myself, Michelle, and Darren use the word awesome all the time. We just love the word awesome and Lompoc. So
I think because we live in California.
We're awesome. We need to have a ding every time we say the word awesome.
Oh, we should.
We've watched some of our shows just to make sure we're sounding decent, and we hear the word awesome and we go,
yeah.
Ding,
is
ding.
It awesome, or do I also say amazing a lot too? I think
awesome. I don't know. You guys, you tell us. Do we say awesome or amazing more often? So we have a couple more things left to share.
Real quick, just showing Taylor's creativity. This is what she set up last night.
Quarantine.
She set up movie night at home.
That was the
Look
setup.
At that. Yep. And it was just her and all her little stuffed animal friends and stuff too, which was just awesome. So clever. I think that's like a curtain over there too. So anyways,
pretty sweet.
Taylor's super creative.
Nice and creative.
Yes.
I'm hopeful that we can do social distancing movie night sometime before 2025. Would be nice. Yeah, that'd be great.
So next
we're going to close down the show with a big splash. I brag all the time about my favorite musician, Jacob Cole.
Yep, you do.
He is always the one that's playing the music for our intro and outro. This is a photo that I took of Jacob Cole and his brother and his cousin. They had a band back in 2012, 2013. I've been huge fans. This picture here is in Santa Barbara. There was a battle of the bands. There was like 50 bands. St. Anne's Place went in there, just the three of them. They tore the place down and walked out with number one. Battle of the Bands, that includes Santa Barbara. They killed it. I am so proud of these guys, and Jacob Cole is just an amazing human, a great teacher, and one of the best guitar players that I think I've laid eyes on. So I'm super excited. I reached out to him and was hopeful that he would put together something original and share it with our audience, and he did so. So we're super excited to premiere this song, brand new from Jacob Cole. Yep. Before I let you guys go, don't forget, musicians, gig workers, they don't get to play in restaurants and coffee bars or bars and make money in their tip jar like they used to. So just be conscious of that. Remember, we're treating Venmo as the new tip jar here. We're encouraging people to look up Jacob Cole on Venmo.
I'm kind of making your face half here.
Thank you. So his Venmo is the Jacob Cole. So if you like this music,
it says Jacob Cole Music is his Venmo.
Well, just go one way or another. Look up Jacob Cole.
Yeah. So
but anyway,
consider that, just knowing that they're gig workers, and it's it's tough for them too. They don't have any venues to play in.
Yep.
But you can also follow him. He's also releasing lots of different things live. So check him out.
And teaching guitar.
Yes.
Which is a big deal.
Sparks. Well,
and online.
Virtually.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're interested in learning guitar and you want to learn from probably the best guitarist you'll find, he's right here in Lompoc. And that's the Jacob Cole.
Here we
so
go.
Here you go. Thank you, Jacob.
If you aren't familiar with who I am or what I do, I'm a working musician. I teach music at certain Sparks and remotely now. And I play with various bands over the years, Dante, Elefante, most recently. I do music with my brother, Mike Singh, and other friends in the area. Anyhow, hope you guys are doing well and surviving, staying healthy and positive. And I want to record this as a quick thank you to Jeremy and Michelle, who are hosting this wonderful program and really bringing something valuable to our community. I hope you guys enjoy this song. I just finished writing it this afternoon. So fresh that I kept messing up the words as I was singing it, actually. So it took a few takes to get it down, but I hope you enjoy it. Hopefully we'll see you guys again real soon. Cheers.
Going wherever I can be, away from all my worries and my dreams, away from all this heartache in your needs. That's weighing on my mind, I can't proceed. I'm tired of saving face in this machine. Don't wanna go along with your whole scheme. Don't wanna play pretend in this whole scene. When what you say is not what you believe, when what you say is not what you believe. Now I gotta get to where it means, somewhere you can give and still receive, where no one's clocking in or charging fees, where no one wants a word or guarantee. There's no more stressing out or glued to screens. Things aren't predicated on this screen. When people finish asking with the please, when what we say is what we really mean. Apart from always feeling your fatigue, a part of you ain't willing to concede. A part of you will never really leave. I know it's hard to pass this time with ease. When living yesterday was like a breeze, and now that truth is measured by degrees. I'm tired of saving face in this machine. What you say is not what you believe. What you say is not what you believe.
Cole.
Thank you, Jacob
That's
Cole.
amazing.
We're going to have some more music from him later this week.
Yep.
Thank you again. Hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. A quick announcement. We deserve it because we've been working really hard, but we're taking this Wednesday off. So this coming Wednesday, no show, but if you haven't seen all the past episodes or some of the fun material, make sure you use that to catch up.
Yep.
We're going to work our butts off, talk to some friends, and get some new material.
Quick update, though. The sign that we posted originally for the Venmo, when we searched for it during the video, because everything's always last minute for us, it's actually the Jacob Cole. So we put it in the comments there as well, but it's the Jacob Cole. So apologize for that.
Catch up on the show on Wednesday. We're going to catch our breath, and we're going to come back with a vengeance on Friday. With another great show, and then happy hour that evening or that afternoon.
Yep.
So thank you guys
so much, and thank you for bearing with our technical difficulties this morning. We
Thanks for coming
appreciate
back.
you, and have a great week.
Yes. See you soon.
See you soon.